The ending of Captain America 1 where they're trying to gaslight him into
Yeah.
believing that like that's probably one of the best endings that
No, no,
that
no, go back. It's actually present day, not present future. Huh? Runs to the street, gets hit by a car, his legs break, but then immediately finds out a new way to walk by locomotion to breaking my bones. It was pretty sick. And then
shut
they
up,
just
shut
retcon,
up,
and
shut
then they
up.
just fucking retconned it. Like, I hate that series, dude. That fucking series is the worst, dude. That was so sick.
I, so I've seen people I've seen people recently do a like if I get to this many followers or whatever, I'll read all of Homestuck or One Piece or whatever. Seeing as I will probably never touch One Piece until it's actually finished, and
Yeah,
I've already like gone through all of
it's
Homestuck,
real.
I I'm thinking like, what if I basically do a hey, if I hit like let's say 1,000 people randomly following this stream or whatever, uh I'll be on Tails gets strolled live. Like that would be a fun stream.
Content, dude.
Other than video games that I'm planning on doing or whatever is I plan on going through all of my I have like figures that I need to put together as well as like Lego shit to build. So I'm just like, oh, those could be fun streams, like putting together Legos or whatever. Putting together Legos, putting together these Ava figures I need to put together.
Like I only wanted the girl boss woman. I was just fucking trying to push.
I don't understand why.
Which game?
Ghostwire.
Always
Specifically,
the more you unravel it.
so the particular issue is the fact that like recently for no reason the like injury blood vignette has just been stuck at times.
It's gotten sticky and dry. You gotta clean your eyes, dude. Divinity could be our pure co-op experience.
I
But it's in the same vein of playing a D&D campaign.
Yeah. To buy around like the many like first person play D&D things like, do I need to buy him Baldur's Gate? Do I need to buy him Divinity? Yada yada.
So yeah, like the older Baldur's Gates use like D&D rules. The current one that's not done yet uses 5e.
Yeah, but I'm more thinking about it in the sense of like, hey, like it was during the time of when he was just like really down bad for some D&D D&D playing.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. But my understanding is it's more of like he wants to play D&D with his friends and not just wants to play D&D. Which I completely get and whatnot. Sometimes I do feel bad about the fact that I have, like, completely removed myself from the D&D equation, but I realize that
it goes on late and starts late.
Yeah, and I was definitely not helping.
It's like, at best, like an 8 or 9 to 11 thing.
Yeah, and I know that I wasn't helping with like, my existence wasn't helping with actually getting things done.
I have been, like, picking up the slack and being downed. Last session I went down twice. The first time is because I jumped down a cliff, tried to roll to eat the momentum, and then my head hit a rock.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that somebody is keeping the dream alive.
I ate splash damage from an RPG. Because Roth is throwing some funny stuff at level 1s. It was one of those guys when you pop their head they go berserk, but with 2 rocket launchers.
Yeah.
This is the Dark Souls of D&D.
He definitely needs more like DM balancing, I feel, here and there, but at the same time,
to find out.
Yeah.
Limits. Like, we could have team wiped pretty easily there.
I also know that his whole because I am the only person that can sit and talk about D&D related matters as frequently or whatever. The big gist of what he wants is a like he's still in that phase of like D&D enjoyment, I feel like, or where hardcore D&D players start here and there of the big thing is trying to stick to like the actual rules of survival and stuff like that in the game.
We really have the basic systems down. Like, that's a bit of a jump, at least for us.
Yeah. So I know his big thing is he wants it to actually be survival based and not just a romp or whatever.
でも何が違うんだよ。霊的な侵食を防ぐ
I think I can take this game seriously.
Because I'm wearing a Tanuki suit.
No, because I want to fuck the bike.
Oh, that's fair.
本当に大丈夫なのか?
I gotta say, RC really fucked me up. I should find and rewatch Prime one of these days. That was a period when I was like really into Transformers. Around the same time those Cybertron games were coming out. I have no idea if they're actually good. This one has a
あの世のオイルも混ぜてやる必要があるんだよ。それがない。じゃあ、それはどこにあるの？知らん。
Cool.
知らないって。どうにもならないじゃないか。電話だぜ。またどこかの世話焼きかもな。リンクのやつ、好き勝手言え。 なのがリサイクルショップで売ってるの？
普通のやつは気づかないだけで、その辺に転がってることもある。
ずっと電話に張り付いていられないので、定期的に回線をつなぎ、ボイスレコーダーの声を再生することにした。返事は結構だ。こちらの指示だけ聞いてくれ。
この声、エドだ。
ここにいるということはおそらくリンコのバイクを使うつもりだね。だけど明快の交友がない。大体そんなところだろう。以前説明したけど KK、どうせ忘れているんじゃないか。
当たりだね。
冥界の交友はあの世の干渉がより強いところで手に入れることができる。あの世がはっきりと見えるくらいの場所だ。すぐに違いがわかるはずだ。探してみてくれ。以上だ。
Really squeezing the sexual content tag for a
見
time
晴らしのいい
apart.
場所に行って目星をつけろ。この辺りだと見た
That's like a whole session having to sit through those 8 hours, though. But, you know, do you want to beat the game?
Yeah.
The whole thing is just like a fucking God of War. Like, mashing, you gotta hit the buttons in the right order, you were starting the sequence because they crushed your cock or some
よくや
shit.
るな。
Honestly,
長い時は1週間くらい喋らなかったぞ。
No.
だからある時
No, they even pull off like the fucking revolver ocelot line of you better not use auto fire or I'll fucking know.
忍者に関する音声を20分聞かされた。
If you do that, you nut instantly in it. Well, yeah. It's gonna be fucked whenever that game comes to like AGDQ, but you know.
そういうのが好きな奴らだ。
We gotta get that sub 9. We gotta get that sub 8.
自分でロボット掃除機も作って
That's sub 8 in 2 minutes.
ejaculation is not fun
pretty-
for anyone.
It was pretty sick how you could accelerate a backward hop through like the entirety of the game, but that entire scene you're locked in or it's incompletable. Warframe keeps showing me rock pussy.
Yeah, Citron is definitely one of their, like, more overtly sexual designs as of late.
Yeah. I haven't played it since December, but I could just like jump in and buy her and then leave.
Be careful with that. You don't want to end up on the banned list.
Oh, don't worry. I buy all of mine directly from the source. The Swirl of the Plat. I think they're BSing the values.
Definitely.
Because I feel like that's what he had to pay before.
物資は補充できた。
And maybe something bugged out and they're just gonna say, no, fuck, you paid anyway.
Stole frame somehow.
Alright, looking at her kit, she seems to be some sort of like AoE support utility. Picks up a health orb, surrounds her, provides health over time to allies. Or something. Yeah, she has an aura. Slash attack enemies and crystal blast inflicts bleed. Puts on status effect. Effect increased trance, dropping health and energy orbs. So she's orbs. She puts up a fucking barrier. And then she puts up some sort of like AoE laser ball. The gem targets enemies taking damage. Okay. That's what it is. Okay, no, it's more like a turret. They inflict heat, cold, toxin, electricity. Oh. Seems like a character that I would, yes, try, but then not really play because I have holes in my brain that are filled solely by whisper food.
So am I.
Yes. You can't, like, give her booty, but also make her wiggle her hips at the same, like, dude. What's Prime? Minute 1, how'd you know? I've not played Dragon's Dogma in nearly 2 years.
Stop, so my feet are still freezing. God damn.
It was a fun drive, even though I let my car warm, which has been the reason why my ink emptied a little bit faster than I'd like. Apparently it's a good idea to let the oil be not so viscous.
そういうのが好きな奴らだからな。特にリンコはこだわりがすごい。
Technically speaking, my running temp's like around
自分でロボット掃除機も作ってる。
83C or some shit like that,
掃
but
除が死ぬほど嫌いだった。
that takes a while to just sit there and wait for that, so I usually like start driving when it hits around 50. At that point I can hear, oh yeah, but I can feel heat coming from the vents, and to me that's like, yeah, it's warm, or...
Actually, let me see what temperature it is in here and whether or not it's a good idea to turn the heat back on. Because I remember last week we had a weird, like, temperature spike, all things considered, and we turned the
it's
heat
gonna be,
off.
more normal tomorrow, but today was just like ice rain. Ugh.
よし。辺りを調べてみようぜ。
バイクのパーツを探さなきゃ。
So.
ガソリンとタービンホイール、それにあの世の干渉が強い場所か。
お前消費者金融になんか興味あるのか？
あ、そういうところなんだ。
高そうな車だ。あれならタービンホイールがあるんじゃねえか？
ガソリンもありそうだね。
あの鳥居だけ他と違うな。調べてみるか。目星はついた。あとはお前の頑張りだぜ。
走るのは僕だからね。
どこから行こうか。
お前の好きなところからでいいぜ。どれだけ回り道しても最後はあの男のところに行くだけだからな。
Stealing this guy's car.
おい、いいのがあるぞ。このタービンホイールは使えないな。型が違う。
これでもダメ？
リンクのやつ、替えの利かないもの使いやがって。おい、あれしまった。
I can't believe I got a cutscene death like that.
KK！ KK！ どこだ？
Expecting to just like completely shit on your fun.
アキトなんとかできるか。
やってみる。全部片付ける。
新手が来やがったぞ。
どうだ。
Damn it. Fun today.
Did you forget a special blade or something?
よし。
Oh damn, Bo wanted to see cocaine shirt. They should do that. Just have like a sequence of movies of like some apex predator taking in cocaine. Cocaine shark. We got cocaine Bengal tiger. It'd just be like a weird hitbox issue with this particular sequence.
I legitimately don't get it.
KK のところに行かなきゃ。
いい腕だったぜ。やるじゃねえか。お前の体の中にいた方が落ち着くぜ。
それは僕も同感だよ。バイクのパーツを探さなきゃ。
とりあえず他のものを探すぞ。
カービンホイールが壊れてるから困ってるんじゃないか。あれはスーパーカークラスの部品を使ってるから普通の車じゃダメなんだ。スクランブル交差点の地下で車の展示会をやっている。KK なら知っていると思ったんだけどね。
俺なら知っている。とりあえず行ってみるか。
なんだかもったいぶった言い方だったね。
どうせ俺たちが困っているのを楽しんでるんだろう。
KK が困ってるところ確かに面白そうだ。
その時はお前も困ってるんだぜ。いいのか。覚悟しろよ。行きたくない場所だぜ。
Like, damn, that it? do that to me? It's like bullshit. Thank you.
なんとか戻れたね。
何度も経験したくはないな、これは。このバスからビルに飛び移れそうだぜ。
マジか。
すっとしたぜ。見えちゃいけねえものが見えちまってるな。あの世に近い場所だ。準備はいいか？覚悟はできてるみたいだな。どうだ、あの世で会いたい奴はいるか？俺は田舎のじいさんに会えて一緒にカッパを探したんだよ。
父さんと母さん。
なんだよお前。汚れだらけだ。エヴァの言う通りなら冥界の交友もありそうだな。あいつらまでいるのか。
shit. I forget if I posted the full video for, there's this fucking dude that does, the same type of voice acting shit as, Gianni, where it's like, I will now voice over, still PNG. He did one recently for, Death Note, where it's, basically the same type of, like, jerk off mind game posting type deal, but it's, L and Light trying to decide where they're going to have dinner or whatever from a fast food place. And it's just like, you think that Kira was going for a $5 biggie bag instead of a 4 for 4? Yeah. Hold on. Let's go find it. I can't. So in. You can tell that he's. Just wasn't gonna walk into that.
よし、長い。しゃし
汚れが元に戻ってる。
道理で帰ってくるやつが少ないわけだな。
Stopped it yet.
"死ぬかと思った。
あの世ってのは帰ってくる方が難しいもんだからな。
To go.
お前、妹と二人で暮らしてたんだわ。
そうだよ。
そうか。それなら絶対あの子を救わないとな。
Disagree with that one. No. It's not.
もっと救えるはずだ。
Oh, that explains it.
Long until the world sees us.
何か心当たりある？
さあな。
It is
The gamers are the world's most repressed group, if that's what you're asking.
like when I was thinking like sees us, I'm imagining like just some Joker tear shaky cam, News Atlas posting terrorist footage kind of deal. So why is the game like cars now?
Trying to build a moat. Trying to prepare this side me's so fitted to basically not have to worry about curse energy or whatever, so we're trying to repair it so that we can go into this fucking curse typhoon to go and kill God or whatever.
エリカのことか。
ああ、そこを何かあった時には向かうように決めていた場所よ。エドとは合流できなかったけど、あの子が言った可能性はある。
わかりました。調べてみます。
頼むわ。場所は429の屋上よ。
Use the ability that I spent the stupid number of skill points to get. Didn't take so long. I could have gotten all three of them out of my way. trouble.
どんどん行こうぜ。あの思念、病院の屋上に行ったぞ。あいつの母親はボイスレコーダーだ。エドが来ていたのか。エリカの思念に引き寄せられたか。聞いたな。
目が覚めた。
全部片付いたな。ボイスレコーダーを拾っとくよ。
今回の収穫はこれだけか。凛子さんに報告はしておこう。
その様子だとあまりいい報告ではなさそうだな。
エドと合流した様子はなかった。
そうか。直接父親のところに向かったのかもな。あの子は父親のことで責任を感じていた。とても強い思いだったから、私はそれが危険だと思った。だからあの子を戦わせなかったのよ。
父親の元に向かったってのは合ってるのかな。けど理由は違うかもしれないぜ。
どういう意味？
お前だってエリカの全てを知っているわけじゃないだろう。他にエリカが行きそうな場所がないか考えてみろ。俺だってエリカのことは気になるんだ。
ああ、そうするよ。
No. No. My fucking god, they're...
Yes, you participate in video game combat. I'm very intelligent.
this concern.
Yeah.
Specifically by the people who are the guys saying I am very smart. Where it's just like the idea, like it plays on the whole point is it plays on the idea of people not understanding hypocrisy a bit, mixed with like the whole idea of like, hey, being in a system means that you can totally complain about the system that you're in.
The system. Why don't you just break out, loser?
Right. And it's just like,
why are you complaining if you're here?
Yeah, it's just like, oh my fucking god. I think the one that upset me the most, like, the bit of time in recent where it upset me the most is the amount of people using it in conjunction with, like, the Harry Potter discourse or whatever, and it's just like, I wholeheartedly fucking think that you guys don't get it, where it's just like, nobody's really saying... Well, that's not true. There are radical extremes of every group or whatever, but like
you want to talk about the average person.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, like showing some form of like solidarity with a with a marginalized people or whatever by literally just not spending $70 is too hard, I guess, or I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about it. It's the same... It's like the same... It's in the same feelings in my mind as, like, the... It sits in the same group of things in my mind as, like, Chick-fil-A, I'd say. Where it's just like, they've made it... the company has made it abundantly clear where they stand. I don't hate on people who eat Chick-fil-A, nor people that have to work there to make ends meet, yada yada, blah blah blah, outside of the people at the upper echelons of that company, but I myself will never go out of my way to have Chick-fil-A because I don't agree with what they stand for.
A lot of this starts bleeding to the ethical consumption arguments.
Yeah, and a lot of...
remember recently with SNK and the Prince.
And what such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism means either.
Ultimately, it just means that you putting some benefit into this system is going to then transfer up to this one particular nasty element. Or result in the continuation of some nasty element.
And it's the whole idea of feel alright picking and choosing the things that you contribute to the negative ethics of things, because it's like people in that same vein will be like, but you use a smartphone and you have a computer and blah blah blah, and it's like, yes, a lot of these things that are literally you are literally close to unable to function properly in society to some degree for some of these things are in the
every layer. It's like,
yeah,
you consume gasoline, that means you're contributing to Russia's economy, or the harsh conditions of some sort of drilling rig off shores where a guy died. It turns out there's a lot of people that have fingers in a lot of pies, and you can't really avoid all of it without just going full Kaczynski.
And the whole point is, like...
You can exercise, like, self-imposed limits, or, like, if you want to call them... what's the word? People are using it recently. Of choosing not to consume thing out of protest. I forgot, actually. like for instance, not consuming Nestle products because holy shit, they're evil. That's something my mom actively does. She's like, no, what the fuck? No.
And it's just like,
And it's hard.
because once you boil down just how many sub companies Nestle has, or things of that nature, it starts cutting out more and more and more of the supermarket.
Mm-hmm. Or bottled water.
Yeah, like it is literally that same thing.
Water's the worst extreme. Like just making a place arid because you took all the water to sell for like 50 cents a bottle.
Yeah. Of it, but it's just like exactly self-imposed limits of what you feel is right and wrong. Instead, they just turn it into, oh, because there is no ethical way of doing this, I can consume to the utmost degree, and nobody can give me shit about it.
I would say, like, there's even a degree of, like, with the self-imposed limits, like, not like a hard cutoff, but, like, it is possible as a human to do something and feel bad about doing it. And there are also the aspects here of, like, it's a video game. You don't have to buy this. If you know and you go out of your way to buy it with the full knowledge of what happens with this money and what it stands for. It's a far cry from, like, I need food, I need gas, I need this little brick of metals and plastics in order to, like, function as a cog. Which is a whole rigmarole of its own. It's like, you don't have to buy an SNK game and support, like, a prince committing genocide.
Like, hey,
yeah.
You cannot ethically have gas. You can.
How much?
Somehow you cannot ethically consume half of.
You also, like, you can't ethically consume it because you know it's actively doing shit to the atmosphere. It's all over. It's what degree of bad am I willing to commit? And how bad will I feel about it?
Exactly, and
It's you can't win. You're not gonna win. Unless you just delete yourself from existence.
It does also boil down to the whole mentality of, you know, when it's quote unquote abstract concepts, or you know, minority based issues, a lot of people can it's a lot easier to turn the other cheek to it, because it's like, that ain't me. Yeah, like, that ain't me. Like,
this does not affect me directly, or this is something I just
like, it's
flat out don't care about.
It's the entire reason why, like, COVID was such a fucking stink to begin with, because of the whole idea that was pushed of, like, oh, it only really affects those who are either old or immunocompromised, which that ain't me.
Exposed. That's different entirely, though.
Right, but it's still like the same fucking, like, that same fucking camp of, like, it doesn't affect me. Yeah.
I do this to protect me.
Like, it's such a fucking mess.
Yeah, human nature's funny.
I feel like it's mostly just funny because we are still under the idea that we cannot shape human nature to be what we want it to be. We are so dead set on
actively try to rein in nature. That's basically it. You have to do some control, there has to be some sort of relinquishing somewhere.
humans in my favor being the upper echelon of whatever are still stuck into of our own existence, and in such making our existence the best that it can be for humanity versus literally still trying to
This plays into even just like the philosophical difference between like East and West. Because you'll find in a lot of like philosophy deriving in the like East Asia, for example, a lot of it is to the benefit of the group. Where in like Western European American culture, it's a lot more individualistic. So, for instance, you'll see that like readiness to accept mask wearing in somewhere like China or Japan as compared to fucking America. Just on a fundamental, like, understood norm.
Yeah. Because
It's philosophy there.
as Americans sometimes done by somebody was done by them for their own individualistic want or needs or whatever, and was not a part of a group, collective, blah blah blah, yada yada. This fucking shit ass belief that everybody is an individualistic, self-made story that doesn't have
It's
any.
a very recent development.
Yeah.
Throughout most of history, a lot of things
You consider depends on what you consider quote unquote recent.
I say recent in the terms of modern history. When I say modern, I mean post-medieval.
That's fair.
Because before then, a lot of shit, a lot of what you are and are doing is for the benefit of, man, we gotta keep us alive.
Yeah.
And you didn't really have the liberty, or, like, luxury, I should say, of being more selfish. Not necessarily in a negative connotation, but just do things for yourself for the sake of yourself. You might here and there, like, not be fun to beat off behind the barn, but that's something afforded to, like, the people at the top, because what else are they going to do with their time? They don't have to, like, support a group.
To worry about
all they
people
gotta
catching
worry
them
about,
beating off behind the barn.
All they've got to worry about is making sure that, things are going well like a company. Dealing with, like, town-to-town politics or whatever level they operate on. And then bring that all the way back to your, like, your fun tribalism. That's just keeping the family group alive. And then the local group. Unless you figured out farming, and then because you own the land, you get the big house.
Another thing that I think it was Ben Shapiro said, where he said like the idea of land, like the idea of ownership or whatever, is the basis of civilization, especially advanced civilization. And it's just like, what? No, fucking literally in middle school you learn that the reason civilization was able to advance past like a certain stage is because like farming and survivability got better, not the idea of ownership.
He's definitely like looking at it from the perspective of the farming of like that land will have been claimed by someone. But that's not the crux of it. The crux of it is ultimately fulfilling roles to keep the machine going. of like someone here is doing your farming, someone here is processing the grain, someone here is working on the walls of your home, someone here is maybe making your tools. That's when it starts forming, not ownership, but like specialization of skill. And even then, that can be traced back to like a hunter-gatherer of like, I get animal or I get pre-grown food. Yeah, it doesn't have to be land ownership, collective or singular otherwise. That's just like part of the equation, but not the reason. Of course, that goes in more back to human nature shit of like, guy comes along and sees you got all this nice food growing. What if he just wanted to take some of that food for himself? Well, now you gotta like more dutifully claim this land and protect it from like anyone who's trying to take the resources away from you or your group. Basically, a lot of shit is just the result of someone's a dick-ass and the consequences. You could be like a completely perfect society within yourselves, but someone outside might try to ruin it for you. Or someone inside changes their mind and tries to ruin it for you. My eloquence is not great on this, but I understand fundamental. This is the shit for Josh to have his rants. Oh, he'll just name like the philosophical textbook terms and like use the eloquence even though the point's still established.
Not necessary. I
just like to find the word.
It's just like if I'm in a situation where I need to cite the person that had my feelings or thoughts or ideals before me, then yes, I will give them the thing of saying, yes, you thought this thing before me.
You thought but I'm more, not. You got the words down. You fulfilled the concept to more completion.
Yes, but I'm not going to like award you. I'm not going to award you the whole thing of like, yes, this person is the reason why I think or believe or feel this thing. No, I think, believe, or feel this thing because I'm the one that is experiencing this particular thing right now in this moment. If they also happened in their life to feel, think, and experience the same things, hey, that's fucking phenomenal. And I'm glad to see that there are like-minded people out there, or sad to see that this type of condition is still going on, depending on whatever it is I'm talking about. But I'm not going to just sit here and say, like, yes, I'm just like a devout Nietzschean, blah, blah, blah. No. Because Nietzsche or whoever, Nietzsche, Aristotle, whoever, didn't magically come into my brain and say, and now you feel and think and believe this.
Nah. Now what happened is you started reading what they wrote, and then you start going, he's just like me for real, for real. And then you start following the other points you didn't hold before.
If I'm being completely honest, the reality of it more than likely is the fact that through time of interacting with more and more media or whatever, you get people that you get the cyclical watering down of one person's major viewpoint, but then it's whoever's like retelling of that major viewpoint that resonates with you that like sticks out or whatever. Because sure, you can always do the and then this cycles back to this person, and then it cycles back to this person, and so on and so forth, all the way until you find you can find something where it's like, even if the initial person whose point that you enjoy never heard or interacted with this like ancient philosopher or story writer or whatever, just due to how we attribute creation of things as humans or whatever, you can say that they were inspired by such and such.
A lot of times it's like, oh man, just delving into nature versus nurture.
Just thinking
But
in
like,
the
how many
sense
times
of,
can you say like, yeah, I agree mostly with what this person says because I already had a lot of these notions, versus like, maybe they had a certain personality that led you to start adopting those notions, versus being taught of it like really young.
the sense of like
People get degrees for these modes of thought.
I'm thinking in the like sense of somebody going like, yes, your like the work that you like, the thing that you feel or the work that you're doing is deeply inspired by 14th century author blah blah blah, and it's just like, I've never read his work before in my life. What the
Yeah,
fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
Inspiration comes maybe if you started going like, oh yeah, maybe this, I've heard about this thing, and then I start reading, it's like, oh yeah, that kind of aligns with what you read into these other aspects. It's like, oh, that's an interesting thought. Oh, I kind of like the idea of that. It didn't really occur to me, even if you ever held that notion or otherwise. Yeah, you don't have to say they're inspired or that they've just been directly influenced by something so much as they just have aligning morals and ethics and points they think about.
Yeah, I guess the whole
And
thing
it
is I
doesn't
don't
have to be.
particularly, I'm not particularly a huge fan of uh giving credit where credit isn't due in the sense of in the mind.
And you also don't have to, like, deconstruct it down to, like, oh yes, it's this empirical school of thought. Sum it down. That's all it is. You are this. You are an INTP.
Don't get me started with quote unquote smart people horoscopes.
Yeah. Man, just like on my, like, being forced to interact with more people, actually having, like, no more anxiety from social interaction whatsoever. I'm an ENTP now, you know what that means. Chess master. If I'm an ENTJ, I wouldn't know. I'm only a Virgo.
I think my favorite one is the fact that my favorite thought about this is like Myers-Briggs is literally the same thing as horoscopes and has the same level of it's not practical to use application for it, but it's still like there's still like the corporatization versions of Myers-Briggs tests, like
Oh yeah, I've seen the ones where it's like, this is what you are.
yeah, like Deloitte has those, and I just find it fucking funny because it's then turns into one of those things where it's like, yeah, I know that it's in my like such and such nature as a as this archetype or whatever to do work this way, but you know, and it's just like, no,
That feels to me like it kind of plays into like, yeah, it's really fun to like have the definitive classification or something. Also a little bit of like, yes, I'm part of this group of like-mindeds.
bit of that, but I like a big part of it really just boils down to
I'm solved.
think about how much of this I can, because you know I can't just like openly talk about, I can't just like openly talk about company blah blah blah, but it like they really do just boil down to a thing of like, yes, I'm a methodical worker versus I'm the type that needs to sit and get all of the facts before I do work to get things
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Versus I'm the type that wants to hear everybody's point of view on things before, and it's just like what you're talking, like really all
You've
you're
been
talking.
told how you think based off a thing where you probably got 51 versus 49% on the slider. Well, that's just how I am. You simplified yourself.
Basically saying you fall into one of these groups because you answered these questions a bit more this way than that way. Because it's like, hey, yes, it is good to have in a work in a fast-paced workplace or whatever. It is good to have a go-getter attitude, but it's also very much important to get all the facts about something before it gets started, or to get everybody's viewpoint on a project uh if you need varying viewpoints, or to like it's really just like, hey, you need all of these things to be successful, and not just in a team, but just as a person in general. Having all of these capabilities will make you a more successful person. So the idea of like saying, well, you have to mix up the thises with the that's and the who's and the what's with the thingamabobs. It's just,
There's something to like, this is how this kind of person operates and how they think and the kind of environment they're able to succeed in.
yeah.
Like, you see that a lot with, like, the super expensive experimental schools that, like, I almost probably got thrown into at one point. Of, like, yeah, this environment they're able to, like, operate in, and this one they're not. Based off of, like, the fact that they respond to the stimuli, or they compartmentalize their thoughts this
of
way.
that. But it's more like for
Well, yeah,
stuff.
that is like, you are this type of instrument, you fit in here nicely within this machine.
And it's just like you're it's the same thing as horoscopes and Myers-Briggs and shit like that, where you're taking vague positive character traits, shaving off the negative aspects of them, and just talking about how these things contribute to the well-oiled machine. Because you don't want anybody to feel bad about the categorization that you're throwing them into, but you also need to categorize them for reasons. Just obnoxious, in my opinion.
And a certain light has an insidious, sterile nature to it. I'm getting spoiled by the casual nature of my current work environment. I can
I feel
tell.
like I kind of am too.
Oh man, we had a fucked incident. Not really an incident, but like a thing that happens. I don't know if I already mentioned it. Did I talk about the safe, like, money handlers? So, you know, like, people would, like, drive the armored trucks and, like, transport the money from businesses to wherever that's deposited. So, the people that were emptying out our safe, they, on certain days, they also drop off the money for us. They gave us the cash to a completely different business. Not even within our stores like it's happened before. No, just a different business's money was left with us. Which is, a serious issue. It's like the fucking person couldn't read or didn't care enough. And didn't even mention anything, they just left it kind of sitting out mostly in the open. Yeah. We're talking about like 30 pounds of coins. Oh, definitely not that fucking person, because they're gonna keep doing that shit. But, whoever ordered that money didn't get their money. Whatever business that was. That's happened to us before, where we just eat it as a loss. Of like, yeah, that money's gone now. That $900 in cash that we were using to have change, gone. That's one of the things that, like, I could say would probably stress me out about this job and does, like, make me uncomfortable. It's, like, the amount of situations that I will interact with, have interacted with, and have to make decisions on that will just, like, potentially cost us a sizable penny. Luckily, a lot of these things are handled by insurance or reimbursement from a higher point, but like for instance, something was returned defective, we'll get our credit back for it. The end. But there is something fun to know that if you mess up with a misjudgment or you forget to do something, you might cost the business $1,000. No pressure. Remember to lock up. Daylight savings ends soon, or rather, is permanent soon. Will be 1 hour shifted off in the majority of the world. Don't do that. Fucking China's one unified time, so that could be worse for us. That's Japan, but yes, you can pet the cat.
Well,
I didn't do that.
Yay! Chapter 5.
Oh boy.
Two.
必ずマリを取り戻す。物資は補充できたな。
Let's see. Those statues. What's that?
私はここで死んだ。悔いを残してね。けどそれもあなたたちのおかげで晴れた。
行っちまうのか。
もう思い残すこともないから消えるしかない。最後まで付き合えなくてすまない。
気にすんな。
Hey, look at that.
こんな姿になっても私は死後の世界を信じてない。そんなものがあったらみんな喜んで死ぬに決まってる。生きなさい、ケルメーニ。
行こうぜ相棒。エリカのことがあいつをこの世につなぎ止めてたんだ。その思いがなくなれば消えるだけだ。
経験もなのか。
だな。
あいつの目的は家族の蘇生じゃないのか。
さっき言ってただろ。あいつにとって肉体は魂の器だ。捨て駒に過ぎない。
戦わずに済む方法はないのか。
ない。邪魔をするなら排除するだけだ。
Ah! Ouch, owie, my bones. Man, I sure do hope I'm actually dealing damage.
Really?
この先に一体何を見ているっていうんだ。
知るか。同情はしねえ。だが俺が終わらせてやる。俺はあいつを倒すまでは燃料切れにはならねえ。あんな奴を残して消えられるから。
あの写真の家族のためにだと。いい父親だな。
Take off these prayer beads that I don't need anymore.
まあな。中に入ったら引き返せないかもしれない。準備を怠る。
これでまた強くなれた。
Tokyo?
Be the stuff.
Oh, that's also beautiful.
This is just the last stop for non-healing things before you head in. Don't get
何言ってるんだ。
お兄ちゃん、本当は私のことなんて考えてないでしょ。お兄ちゃんは自分のことしか考えてない。自分のせいで私が死ぬのが怖いんでしょ。
どうした？
変な声が聞こえる。妹の声だった。
あいつらが何か仕掛けてきてるのかもな。おい、どうした？ アキトアキト行くぞ。
お前の本心なのか。
惑わされるな。相手の思うツボだぞ。
違うんだ。
アキトしっかりしろ。俺のこといい親だって言ったよな。俺はいい親なんかじゃない。刑事として一生懸命働いてさえいれば家族を守れると信じきっていた。でもな、久しぶりに家に帰ったら俺たちはもう家族じゃなくなっていた。息子は俺が渡したおもちゃをつまらなそうに見ていたよ。もうスーパーカーになんか興味がなくなっていたんだよ。それでも俺はこの戦いから逃げない。守りたいものを守るためだ。
あの人形は
Source of that image.
稼ぎすらできなかった。
Go. Shit.
てめえ、肉体の死はただの事象に過ぎない。魂は肉体を離れてこそ本来の姿を取り戻す。
死生観は自由だ。否定はしない。だけど独りよがりの妄想に人を巻き込むな。
正しい導きはいつの時代も疎まれる。だが君もすぐに理解するだろう。肉体がいかに無意味なものなのか。
マリー様！
必要な量の魂は集まった。その全てを使い生と死の境界を破壊する。君の妹は最後の礎として用いられる。とても尊い役割だ。
そんなことさせるか！
境界が失われれば世界は一変する。私はそこにささやかな楽園を作るつもりだ。妻と娘の魂が永遠に輝き続けることができる。
何が楽園だ！
そうだ、素晴らしいことを思いついた。この娘にも楽園を用意してやろう。強い意志を持った稀有な魂だ。場合によっては新世界の導き手になれるかもしれない。新世界のマリア、いやイブ。
お前の夢物語など何の価値もない。
夢か。直接確かめたとか？妹の魂、 この肉体に戻りたがっているか否か。
それは
この娘の包帯の下はどうなっていると。肉体に固執しても苦しみが増すだけだ。
I should have put this fucking Tanuki costume on. It's supposed to be sweet.
No, look how sad he is.
I'd say this is pretty strong.
ここから世界が変わる。新たな始まりの時だ。もう少しで我が祝願が成就する。
立て、奴を追うぞ。
アリ、お前は何を。
あいつの妄想に取り込まれるな。目を覚ませ。
I was gonna pull off the mask.
お前を切り捨てる。アキト、お前本当にこのまま。俺はこいつを倒す。自分に勝つ。アキト、お前は邪魔をするな。要は確かめるのが怖えんだろ。妹の気持ちを。自分が命張ってまでやってきたことが全部無駄だった。その答えを聞くのが怖えんだ。
あんたに何がわかる。
わからねえよ。自分の家族の気持ちさえな。わからねえから確かめに行くんじゃねえか。俺は止まらない。
But basically, you need to restart your save. After you pull that twink like a pretzel.
マリに直接確かめるまで死ねない。
だ
された。そんなに待ってないだろ。
Multi play options. Down here.
Don't put your thing in his hole. Up nose. So what do you think this is a map about? Map of countries where it is illegal to eat the carpet of an airport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, double pipe. Double piped up on a Saturday night.
Second. That's pretty good.
No, I can crop that myself.
So, like, you know how the lasso tool in
次は6ヶ月検診ですね。その時にお母さんの経過も見ましょうか。誰だ記憶だ。誰だ。
basically lasso of something you want, and
Increase
then
transparency.
yeah, and then like either transparent stuff that you don't want, you either transparent it or like autofill it to a certain color or whatever, so that you could like. And it's really just because I think it would lead to. There are so many like instances where I'm like, oh, I'd love to like crop this and send it to somebody, but like the particular format of the image, it's like there's no way that I can crop this where it's not apparent what's
So
going on.
That's me grabbing it and putting it into like fucking Krita or something, and doing all the grunt work myself.
I just think it would be a really fun tool to have of like a lasso crop in like as a part of just like a base photo cropper or something. These are my memories. Oh man. I wish they weren't.
So Marcus, this tool already exists. Press Windows, Shift, and S. It has a built-in lasso that creates transparency. It's already there.
Specifically on my phone, not on my computer. On the computer, I don't care. I'll fucking do whatever I have to. But like,
so, case in point. Oh, maybe not transparency, but you can still snip it. No, you don't.
features. That's what I want.
fine considering that unicorns prey after virgin girls.
マリもやりたいことやれよ。
お母さん、ちょっと疲れちゃっただけだよね。
そうだよ。悪い風にばっか考えるなよ。その言い方、
うん、お母さんの言い方。よかった、晴れて。
お祭りとか久しぶりだな。
目を背けるな、秋田人。
God damn it.
お母さん、大丈夫だよね。やだよ、お母さんが亡くなる。なんでみんないなくなるの。お兄ちゃん、どこにいるの？どこ？病院だよ。早く病院に来てよ。お母さんはお父さんに会いに行ったんだよね。
ここから新しいスタートだな。
そうだね。あと何回新しいスタートが来るんだ。スタートなんかじゃないよ、これ。落ちていってるだけだよ。
どこまで下に行くんだ、この階段。
恐れるな、大丈夫だった。
どこまで落ちるの？私たち。
葉を聞きたかったんだろう。
マリに会わないと。
そうだ、守りたいものを守るんだ。
もう逃げない。どこかに繋がってる。ここだ。
ああ、あいつもお前の妹もこの中だ。
Spielberg.
準備はいいか。
Mm-hmm. Different. Oh, why do you want that there? Never get this. My flaps.
家族の晴れの門出を静かに見守ってやることもできないと哀れな者たちだ。
確かめに来た。マリの意志を邪魔はさせない。
物言わぬ彼女の願いを君がどうするという。
やめろ
Oh, apparently Adams has in the past compared women asking for equal pay to children in understanding. He called black people a hate group. Just as a whole.
なんだこれは。
The wonderful radionister.
Hey, yo!
これは彼女が起こしているのか。いや、それでも実機は止められない。
Kazuhiro Miller died 18 years ago.
Damn.
マリー。
お兄ちゃん、ありがとう。来てくれて。
ごめん。俺、ずっと謝りたくて。
知ってるよ。だから私死ねなかった。お兄ちゃんのせいじゃない。あの時私これを。何？お母さんたちが残してくれた思い出、どうしても置いていけなかった。
マリー。
お兄ちゃんは生きて。
俺。
最後に本当の気持ち話せてよかった。
At least he didn't get Gurren Lagann. Then it'd been real bad. I mean, like, she still dies, or whatever, but then he fades out of existence. From the screen.
やはり私は間違っていなかった。二つの世界は今つながったのだ。人々の魂は肉体から解き放たれ浄化される。私と私の家族再び一つとなる。失うことも悲しむこともない。永遠の楽園で。 弱点がないか調べてみろ。そこを狙うんだ。
To kill them in a specific order. delay that jump.
じゃあこの人たちは。
ああ、魂と肉体が切り離されていただけだからな。自分に戻るはずだ。
This is real.
でもマリは。
What do you mean? Oh, I've already seen this one, though. This is confirmed real. Yeah. Yeah, Dante even gets Darkslayer.
父さん、母さん。
What's his face fucking bad?
Yeah, Blue Bitch got them hands.
父さんの命日は12月10日。母さんは6月9日。忘れてない。
At least Scorpion made it in.
一度だって忘れたことなんてない。もう平気なふりなんてしないよ。
Still no Kiryu.
泣いてもみっともなくても
Kiryu stands suffer.
僕は生きていく。
Won't live there.
またな。次に会うのは俺が最後の最後まで生き抜いた
No, post it on trend.
後だ。
Make a point.
家族の前でようやく素直になれたってわけか。
黙ってたと思ったらまだそんな。
最後に一つだけ頼みたいことがある。
うん。
妻と息子に伝えてほしい。俺は最後まで諦めずに生き抜いたと。
分かった。必ず伝える。
悪いな、使いっ走り頼んじまって。自分で行ければいいんだが、ちょっと疲れちまったんでな。
ケイケイ。
あきと、もう取りつかれんなよ。知り合いが俺みたいにいいやつじゃねえからな。
なんだよそれ。勝手に取り付いておいて。礼ぐらい言えよ。
that second sentence.
Wait, why don't you post a personality test?
Specifically like the Jung types. So they're not they aren't like the fluffy they aren't the fluffier ones. Like when you open this link, it literally goes, "Hey, you can learn. You might. This personality test will also tell you your negative aspects of your personality or approximate negatives of your personality. If you don't feel comfortable having negative, blah blah blahs." And the whole reason I even posted this is because somebody posted a shot of their results versus their boyfriend's results. Like, this is theirs, and this is their boyfriend's. And they were saying crazy versus normal, with them being the crazy one and their boyfriend being the normal one. So I'm just like, oh, I like colors and things that are like, hey, I like to know if I'm 100% paranoid or compulsive or whatever. Or at least pretend to know. That's a hard disagree. Maybe a couple years ago, that would have been an agree.
Always thought about squishing bugs between my fingertips.
I don't believe that. Hold up. I must not have done some of these right. Because 0% antisocial? Bullshit.
Oh, you're a butterfly, dude.
The 29% narcissistic, I could see that. 57% dependent, I can see that. 71% compulsive, yeah, I only don't have 51 servants. 86% negativistic, yeah. 71% avoidant, yeah. 100% depressive. 43% masochistic.
See, it's only 43. Don't get confused.
Is the typo? 57%
Oh, dude, it's schizo, dude.
hypomaniac. Personality style is depressive.
Damn, dude, you're making me sad. You're depressing me.
Suffering from clinical depression, you are nevertheless glum and pessimistic at heart, experiencing little joy in life. Due to the stifling and dark character of your thoughts, you may at times experience psychomotorial retardation, i.e., your thoughts slowing your thoughts slowing almost to a standstill, and you may be wholly unable to experience pleasure during such bouts of melancholy and dejection. When you try to pull yourself together, there's an overpowering sense of giving up, a sense that life is over, and that that it's no use trying to fight to regain joy or better standing in life.
You gotta get a fucking shirt that says Psychotard.
Nah. Yeah, I'm not
In parentheses,
surprised by this.
Jungian.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
Jungian Psychotard.
Because, like, yeah. But now it's basically a, like, high-functioning sad boy.
Now you can move on to other video games, like Sonic.
Frontiers, and then they toss up between Bayonetta 2 and some other game. I haven't decided what.
Ultra Kill.
No, I told you, I'm waiting for that to be done this year.
And as I said, it actually is all of hell.
Yeah.
It's just broken up in 3 circles per chapter.
Chapter 3 to come out. I mean, I already didn't play the first 2 when they were out.
And you break through to the other side. Pretty alright song. And then go up heaven.
I play Max for Sonic.
It would fill you with sadness after finishing it, so I might suggest something like Terraria. That was the first thing my eyes moved to. You could also just break into doing roguelikes again, get into the quick tip. No, it won't, but you get to play Noida for a little bit. And unless you're trying to do, like, convoluted story paths and, like, summon the Dark Sun in Hell, and make it touch tips with the actual sun. You don't have to complete Noida. You get the normal end, which is the Midas end. I dropped ball bearing.
It's between 2 things. I go back to the it'll be Bayonetta 2. Just like Sonic, what am I in the mood for? Things that have kind of been sticking to my brain recently. Or 3 things that have been sticking to my brain recently. Which is good. Out of 10.